To repeat or not to repeat is one of the questions. It is time to crown a champion at the 2025 ISC World Tournament. An overhead look at lovely Caswell Softball Complex, where in the championship final, on a lovely evening, the Hill United Chiefs, champions in 2024, and the only unblemished team with a record of 5-0, take on the 7-1 Bear Creek Express, who have already, Blair Setford, won 2 games on this championship Saturday.
If there's such a thing as a team of destiny, you could make an argument for both sides of this camp. Bear Creek come in on a roll. And sometimes, Peter, you can get on that roll and it carries you right through the championship game. Hill United did that last year. On the other hand, you can be fresh, you can be waiting, and you can be prepped and ready to go. And that's happened for the Chiefs too.
But it hasn't happened a lot for them in their 6 ISC World Championship victories. Did not happen last year. And I believe it was
2017, the last time the Chiefs were unbeaten in the ISC championship game. I just ran into a couple of folks downstairs, and we were talking about, what do you think? What's going to happen here? And I said, if you're going to get to Marco Diaz, you better get to him early before the lights come on. That's the lineup that's going to have to do it.
Yeah, and it's a really good lineup. It's exactly the same lineup that the Express down the Northeast Drillers with when they inserted Alan Salgado. He had a key double in that game. And here is a look at the defending champions, how they will play defensively, and not a lot of changes. But for a second time, Blair, in the event, Luciano Biondi in the game in left field. And we saw him make a marvelous catch in a win over the Kegel Black Knights a few games ago. Ezekiel Pecker, the star of last year's championship Saturday, Hunter Boland, Lenny Viavazzo, Tony Gonzalez, and the veteran catcher Bruno Matroni behind the plate. Joe Todd will also be a part of this championship broadcast between Hill United and the Bear Creek Express. It is only their second meeting of 2025. The only prior one, June 28th, at the Kitchener tournament, a game won by Hill United to the tune of 4-1. And in fact, neither pitcher that participated for the Express are here in Mankato.
No, that's right. Sean Cleary was one of the pitchers in that game, and I believe Sean took the loss in that.
He did. He went 6 innings. Kuba Osichka, who's regularly with the Bear Creek Gremlins, threw an inning in that game. Marco Diaz didn't start that game, but of course he starts this one. Marco has pitched 26 innings so far this week, given up 1 run, 13 hits, 56 strikeouts, and 12 walks as he deals with 28-year-old Callum Bichel from Australia, a member of their national team. 7 for 22 is Callum here in Mankato with a couple of home runs. And Diaz already clocking in at 88 miles an hour.
Yeah, he is bringing the gas here, especially later in the week, Peter. I thought it's taken him a couple of games to work his way into the tournament. He's been in a groove the last few nights.
Couple of games, though, this week. Very, very successful, but he had to battle his way out. It's not like there have been every game of the 5 that he has won. He started all of them here. Only really one, the no-hitter he threw earlier in the week, was it very much in almost cruise control for him. The lineups are too good, and he walks the game's first batter in Callum Bichel.
These two at the top of the order in particular for the Express have been table setters for guys like Luigi Pinto, who's been hitting up a storm. Pinto back in the lineup after coming out of the third place game with ice bags on both forearms after getting pinned twice by Huemo Mata. Cody Pannebecker in the 8th spot has been a force for the Express as well.
And they've been a force as a group in their 2 playoff wins today. Early is Japanese national team member Yusuke Morita tried to lay down a first pitch bunt. In their opening game of the day at 9:30 a.m. this morning, they scored 6 runs in the first on their way to a 7-1 victory over STK Fastball. And also Blair scored both of the runs in the 2-1, if you will, semifinal victory over the Northeast Drillers. This might be a little contentious, as Morita certainly struck with this pitch.
But he swung at it, or chopped at it.
He did.
Is the ruling by the third base umpire. That's Ed Otterman. Mike Morrissey is behind the plate, and I'm going to let Joe Todd, who's got all that info, Peter, fill you in the second.
So Morita shakes things off. He's been hit a couple of times in the last 2 days. The Express' only loss came at the hands of JDT First Energy, 3-2, and a changeup from Marco Diaz that just missed the strike zone. A little up to Morita, the 36-year-old from Japan. He's 6 for 21. He's doubled twice here, homered twice, and driven in 4. And Diaz with his first strikeout of the evening and his 57th of this ISC World Tournament.
Yeah, that had some zip on it again. 88 miles an hour from Marco Diaz. The drop ball is always going to be the quickest pitch. And Marco is so smooth in his delivery. This is really, Peter, you have to be up close to fully understand how quick that pitch gets on you.
He does have arguably the smoothest delivery of all the elite level pitchers, and misses to the opposing pitcher who's in the batter's box, Ty Sebastian, who's had a marvelous tournament in his own right. In the circle, Bruno Matroni break his glove again?
Yeah, he did. He's going for the other glove. And Peter, at times you'll see Marco Diaz put the glove up to his ear. The Chiefs are using a PitchCom type device where the signal comes in audibly through an earpiece. It's a little bit different than the one that JDT and the Gremlins have been using, which has a little display screen on a wrist device.
And I'm not sure they started the event that way.
They did not. They picked this up midweek. First I saw of it was Thursday, I believe.
Sebastian fouls that down the first base side. The 29-year-old from Brussels, Ontario. Sebastian, 6 for 21. He's doubled, has 2 home runs and 3 runs batted in. He was 0 for 2 in the most recent game, the 2-1 triumph over the Northeast Drillers. Marco Diaz, 7 complete innings 1 year ago in Surrey, BC, to knock off the Gremlins, then of New York. And hoping to have a similar type outing on Championship Saturday of 2025. And you can tell the adrenaline is running high even for him, who, in watching him so much this year, he's a pretty mild-mannered guy.
Yeah, very cool customer out there. You very rarely will see Marco get flustered with calls or plays. In that regard, reminds me a little bit of Sean Cleary, the Iceman.
7 innings last night in the winner's bracket final against the Northeast Drillers. 1 run, the only one he's given up so far. The only one the team has given up so far. 5 hits, 11 strikeouts, and 5 walks, and Ty Sebastian looks at a pitch on the outside corner as Diaz with back-to-back strikeouts here in the top of the first. Two down, one on the leadoff walk. And here is the 38-year-old from Venezuela, Luigi Pinto, still swinging it, I think, as well as he ever has. And he rips it, base hit, Bichel on his way. Alan Pecker, as good an arm as there is in the sport, and made it relatively close. As Pinto has his 11th hit of this World Tournament.
Callum Bichel did well to not get hit by that ball off the bat of Luigi Pinto. He had to stutter step and let that get through.
Pinto continues to be on some kind of roll here in Mankato. And the batter is shortstop David Galino, who had only one hit in the tournament prior to today's games. But now he's up to 4. He's had 3 hits today. And when he gets hot, it's trouble for an opponent, and he's more than capable. 4 for 20 in the event with 2 runs batted in.
The concerning thing for David Galino, Peter, he does not appear to be operating at 100%.
Something in the right thigh area has been very iced and bandaged. And Diaz missing as he tries to bend in a ball on the outside corner. So early pressure for the Express against Diaz and Hill United. Trying to win a 7th ISC crown since the year 2012. Check swing, knocked down Galino, and I think the play will continue. Bruno Matroni's hurt too.
That took a bite out of everybody. I've never actually seen somebody with such a defensive swing and get bowled over, but the ball's actually in fair territory.
We have seen some incredibly odd things here in Mankato. That's just another one as runners left at the corner. Hill United will set their batting lineup and the Express defense when we return to this championship affair of the 2025 ISC World Tournament.
Dreamcatcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say, as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher.
Hill United to bat for the first time. They received quite a threat. Marco Diaz able to work his way out of it with runners at the corners and a couple out in the top of the first. And it is a, for the most part, batting order that you've seen a lot this week, but back inserted as the designated player is Edgar Pipolo Lopez, who even in the game last night, which you talk about oddities, 3 runs Hill United scored in the 6th inning when they sent 9 batters to the plate and only had 1 hit. He started it, Blair, talking about Lopez, with a pinch hit walk. That got the ball rolling.
It really did, and I think he's there for the offensive capabilities that he brings. And let's face it, Luciano Biondi, you're not losing anything with him in the outfield.
Shane Boland, the captain of the Hill United Chiefs, facing Ty Sebastian. Ty has pitched 36 and a third innings here, given up 10 runs, 20 hits. He struck out 66 and walked 19. And it's his first game against Hill United this season. It's only meeting number 2 of these teams, period. Boland gets into one. It is gone. The captain goes yard early. And Hill United strikes first on Shane Boland's first of the ISC World Tournament and his 4th of the season.
Shane Boland, you could just tell the way he came to the plate, Peter, and that first swing where he hooked it foul, he was keyed up and he was looking for something specific that he got from Ty Sebastian.
He absolutely crushed that pitch over the left center field fence, and Hill United strike first in this title game. Bradley Ezekiel, the batter. 5 for 12 with a home run of his own here in Mankato this week, and 5 runs batted in. And that has sent the dugout of the Chiefs into an uproar, as you would imagine.
And it's something that we did not hear in the prior game, Peter. That game, we both remarked on it, was very quiet. This team here over to our left in black has really come with the noise.
As Ezekiel takes from Sebastian, and that rise ball that has been so effective all day long to this point. He pitched the first 2 innings in the 7-1 victory to start the day against STK, and then a masterful 7 versus the Northeast Drillers to elevate the Express into this championship final. As Ezekiel looks at a pitch wide of the strike zone. The 8-time All-World player, 38-year-old Holyrood, Newfoundland native, Brad Ezekiel, who hit a 3-run home run in last year's championship final against the then New York Gremlins, now Bear Creek Gremlins, and Ezekiel thought he had drawn a walk.
Peter, you can clearly see that the Chiefs bench feeding off the energy from that home run by Shane Boland.
Here's the payoff pitch. Ezekiel looked to be inside, but he fouls it towards his own dugout. Jeff Ellsworth, the head coach, he's had quite a week. Learned that he'll be inducted into the ISC Hall of Fame in the player category next year in Kitchener. John Hill at first, and John Stewart, a huge part of the coaching staff as well. And Ezekiel fouls that away. This guy has had a lot of clutch moments in his career, both at the club level and for his national team.
Well, you don't have to look very far into the past. You go back to the Venezuela game in the World Cup. Canada needing some runs to tie. Who supplied them? Brad Ezekiel. I'll take you a little further back, 2021, not with the bat, but defensively. Bradley Ezekiel stealing the championship literally from the then New York Gremlins.
And Sebastian, who made a habit of retiring driller batters with that great underneath the hands drop ball in the inside portion, just missed, and Ezekiel draws a walk after the captain went deep, Shane Boland, to give the Chiefs an early 1-0 advantage. And the batter is second baseman Lenny Villavazzo. The 26-year-old from Mexico, hitting .310 on the year. 4 doubles, a home run, and 10 runs batted in for number 69. 4 for 11 are his numbers here in Mankato with a double and 2 runs batted in. And he's made some superb plays on defense. Blair, that play he makes last night going towards the bag at second and throws back across his body, one of the better plays of the week, and there have been many. As Sebastian looking to find a rhythm early.
But he's got to get control of this because this Chiefs team, as fired up as they are, they're on the verge, Peter, of rolling. I know it's very early, but you can just sense that it's coming.
Villavazo into left, and it's going to drop for a base hit. As Villavazo has his 5th hit here in Mankato. And you couldn't draw it up any better to begin in the hitting department for the reigning ISC World Champion Hill United Chiefs. And you've mentioned a lot. Joe Todd and many others who watch this sport talk about hitting being contagious. And it really is. So 2 on, nobody out for 39-year-old veteran catcher Bruno Matroni, who's been such a staple with this team.
They brought Bruno in to stabilize the catching position after the retirement of Jason Sanford, and he's done exactly that and more.
And Matroni, Sebastian thought about wheeling in the other direction to try and get the lead runner, but takes the out as Matroni with an early sacrifice.
Well, Peter, he had nobody to throw to at second base because the shortstop had gone to the bag at third, Galino, and Pannebecker, as you do when there's a bunt on, had gone to cover first.
So a run is scored on a leadoff home run. Runners at second and third for 35-year-old Tony Gonzalez, who is 5 for 14 with a couple of home runs here in Mankato, and this one will go over top of our tent, just barely. Tony drove in all 5 of his runs in the Hill United opening game win over the Junkyard Dogs. 2 home runs in that game, 3 for 3, 5 runs batted in. And would love to add to the early advantage if he can. Tony Gonzalez has just ordered from the drive-through menu. He said, "Can we get that to go?" He hit it a mile. And it's 4-0 Hill United.
Peter, you could just feel it coming with this Chiefs squad as Tony Gonzalez gets the big home run hat. And that is likely, well, it's Ryan James that's come out, so maybe not. But clearly the Express here have got to do something to stop the momentum.
Home runs number 57 and 58 of the Hill United season have them in front in this title game 4-0 with 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. That one well over the secondary fence.
Yeah, that one's going to be in the 300-foot neighborhood.
Tony Gonzalez crushed it. Runs batted in 24, 25, and 26 of the season, and by far and away his biggest. And you know one thing about the guy in the circle? He will battle you right till the end. That's who he is.
Oh, there's no quit here in this Express team.
Blake Hunter, who has been a terrific addition in 2025, the 38-year-old Canadian national team member from Nanaimo, British Columbia. 3 for 13 in Mankato with a double, a home run, and 2 runs batted in. Sebastian comes in to Blake Hunter. Blake on the overall season is batting .303 with 4 doubles, 4 home runs, and 18 runs batted in. And looks at a strike on the outside portion of the plate. Blake was a New York Gremlin 1 year ago in this title game. Now he's on the other side of the fence. And an excellent drop from Ty Sebastian to retire Blake Hunter for out number 2. And that's the drop again, Blair, that's been so effective for him.
That pitch was tremendous in the semifinal game. Not quite yet able to find the range. Remember, Peter, it was the drop against the righties and trying to come in with the inside rise against the lefties. I don't know if that's a pitch you want to throw to Alan Pecker.
The star of Championship Saturday on the year 2024 when he went 6 for 9 in the 3 Hill United wins with 4 home runs and 9 runs batted in. That's one no one will ever forget. He comes to the plate in this championship game of 2025. The 27-year-old from Argentina, who's 3 for 14, double, 2 triples, and 5 runs batted in. Every hit has been for extra bases for Allen. And misses.
That's a good pitch from Sebastian. Sorry, Peter. That's that side of the plate where it's outside to lefties. If he sticks with that pitch, that drop, he'll be able to slow this train down that the Chiefs are on.
Ball and 2 strikes to Alan Pecker. And he's able to just stay off of that inside offering from Sebastian, who gave up a leadoff homer to Shane Boland and then a 3-run blast off the bat of Tony Gonzalez here in the bottom of the first. Pulled it to second, and Pannebecker, who has also defended well all tournament long, finally helps the Express end the inning. And it's a great one for Hill United as they score 4 times on 2 big home runs to take an early advantage in this championship final.
Peter, I'm going to step out after some thank yous here. First of all, on behalf of Softball Premier and the ISC Network, I want to thank our sponsors. You guys make it available for us, and you enable us to do this and to bring this great game to everybody around the world. Thank you very much. Radis was here. He's not, has done just a phenomenal job. All of the social media posts that you see, those lovely new video boards, he's expanded our reach. We've had over 1 million, and I kid you not, over 1 million views in the last 7 days. It's been phenomenal. Thank you so much. To Brad Walsh and Caswell Sports, you guys have been great hosts, and I thank you on behalf of the ISC for bringing the World Tournament here to North Mankato in Minnesota. Luciano and Carol, you guys elevate everything that we do on Softball Premier TV. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. A special mention to the Townsend Tide, Kent Wardell, Corey McLean, and everybody on that group who came to help us here on Saturday night in our moment of crisis in the weather. Peter, You continue to elevate our game with your professionalism. Thank you so much for being here. Joe Todd, what more can I say? My right-hand man, my roommate, my traveling partner. Love you, brother. And you, our audience, it's bigger and better every year. Thank you for being with us. We do this to bring this great game to a global audience, and we appreciate every single one of you for being with us. Peter, going to turn it over to you and Joe. Have a great game, my friend.
Thank you, and thank you for all you do, not just on the broadcast, but all you do for the ISC as a whole. Tireless effort, volunteer hours, a gentleman who cares so deeply about the ISC and men's fast-pitch softball at its highest level. So Hill United, with a 4-0 lead early in this game, Villavazo with more second base magic as he takes a hit away from Tyrone Bartarillo to begin the second inning. Fantastic effort by Villavazo. Tracked it, pivots, finds the target, and throws a strike to Tony Gonzalez for out number one. Villavazo had a hit in the 4-run first for Hill United. And here is Alan Salgado. He is in the designated player category for a second straight game. He doubled in the 2-1 victory in the prior playoff game versus the Northeast Drillers, who end up in third place for a second straight year. And that's a heck of a team that Ron Hackett has put together.
Come very close this year. They were maybe, how many innings away? 4? When did that big inning happen?
Inning number 6.
6, so it was 2 innings away from potentially being in this game on the undefeated side.
Hill United won that game last night, winners bracket final, to propel them to this championship final. They scored 3 runs in the 6th off Waymo Mata, who had retired the previous 13 batters in a row. And then, in a week filled of oddities, a half inning I'll never forget and I've never seen before. As Bruno Matroni wants a check from the third base umpire. Generally, there's been 3 individuals working. Championship final means there's 4.
Home plate umpire Mike Morrissey, Peterborough, Ontario. First base Mark Corris, Prescott, Arizona. Second base Steve Gallagher, Coburg, Ontario. And third base Ed Otterman, Kitchener, Ontario.
Marco Diaz almost made a marvelous defensive gem of his own. Waited. Is this going to go foul? That's very close, and Salgado really didn't run down the line either. If it's a fair ball, he's out. Salgado, 3 for 7, does not have a ton of at-bats in the event. Calls San Diego home. A changeup from Diaz. It's been interesting to watch Marco this week in this regard, Joe. One night, it's been the rise. One night, it's been the drop. The changeup has been a great pitch for him on another night.
You just can't pick one out. Sometimes you want all 3 pitches working.
When you throw the way he does, if they all work,
yeah, could be lights out.
Nighty-night. But he has a big lead now to work with after he battled himself out of trouble. There were runners at the corners in inning number 1 for the Bear Creek Express. Strikeout number 3 of the contest to get Salgado. And if he continues to get that pitch, that won't be a lot of fun for the Express hitters.
Bear Creek have to be more aggressive, especially down 4 runs, sorry.
Cody Pannebecker is the batter. Cody with a huge solo home run yesterday to knock off the Bear Creek Gremlins, a team that had made it to championship Saturday 14 years in a row. And a 3-run shot against STK. Shane Boland, hard to get. Pannebecker and Gonzalez can't come up with it to extend the inning. And rarely does Tony Gonzalez not come up with this.
It's a little high throw.
So Pannebecker at first on the air. And the number 9 hitter in the lineup, USA national team member and outfielder Yusuf Davis. Hunter to his knees across the diamond. So after a play the Chiefs would like to have back, Blake Hunter at the hot corner delivers. 4-0 in this championship affair for the reigning champs, heading to the bottom of the second in Mankato.
Called strike 3, the outside corner. They work out of that.
Yeah.
High in the air, Viavazo comes to get it, and the Chiefs are back to the top of the mountain. The gloves fly. The celebration is underway.
For 4-0. 2 home runs, one off the bat of Shane Boland to lead the game off for Hill United, and then a little later, a smash by Tony Gonzalez, a 3-run homer, which has Hill United in command, but it's still very early in the game. Pipolo Edgar Lopez, the batter, in the designated player spot. In some regard, it was his leadoff walk in the 6th against the Drillers last night. It was a quality at-bat, and he's had many of them this season, that keyed all of it. As Sebastian remains in the game. On the year, Pipolo is batting .364 with 4 doubles, a triple, 4 home runs, and 16 runs batted in. Here in Mankato, 2 for 7. 2 for 4 in the game with a home run, Joe, against the Kegel Black Knights.
A lot of power if you get that ball up in the letters. It's not going to stay in the park too long.
And Lopez, whether he's in or out of the lineup, being around the team a lot this year, he's a very happy-go-lucky guy, but always ready to perform regardless of the task. And opens the bottom of the second by drawing, guess what?
Yes.
Another walk.
Sebastian, a real tough first inning, threw 26 pitches in that first inning. The 4 runs put on the board by Hill United.
in the 3-run sixth in the winner's bracket final last night. No play in it, Blair, in some ways much more important than a bunt base hit. This time, Luciano Biondi, who delivered that bunt base hit in between everyone, sacrifices, and Hill United with another runner in scoring position. And it's the second time that Jeff Ellsworth has had the sacrifice bunt on early in the game. And
well executed.
Both Bruno Matroni and Biondi able to get the job done. And those are the little things that add up to large things. This guy delivered something large. A home run, and he's driven this one deep. He did it again.
Wow.
The captain, Shane Boland, 2 for 2 with 2 home runs. This one, a 2-run shot. And it's 6-0. And I think we're going to have a pitching change. What a start for the defending champs. And you knew it had a chance again. It ended up, Joe, in a similar spot to the first one he hit. What a championship beginning for Shane Boland, the captain. And if you spend time with this group, they have many leaders, but this guy in so many ways glues it all together. And it is 6-0. I don't know if anybody saw this type of start coming. And Ty Sebastian, who maybe, Joe, ran out of gas.
I think it just hit the wall.
So a walk to Lopez, the sacrifice bunt, courtesy of Biondi. And Shane Boland, 2 innings, 2 home runs. And Pittarona, the New Zealand national teamer, will make his way into the game. He's pitched 10 innings so far in Mankato. And his job is to just shut the door from here on in, if you can.
Give it a whirl. Maybe even just a change, a different look at the plate.
Shane Boland had 3 home runs all season coming into this game. He has 2 tonight. What a time for them.
Cream always rises to the top at the right time. Good job by Shane Boland tonight. 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, just as Peter had just mentioned.
So Pittarona, who threw more than 16 innings for New Zealand in a silver medal winning effort at the World Cup in Prince Albert a few weeks ago, pitched an inning and 2/3 in the gold medal loss to Venezuela. Enters the affair and deals with Bradley Ezekiel, who walked and scored on Tony Gonzalez's 3-run homer in the first that turned 1-0 into 4-0. Rona has given up just 1 hit in those 10 1/3 innings, or pardon me, 1 run this week here in Mankato. One run, 3 hits, 12 strikeouts, and 2 walks in 10 1/3. That's the official stat line for him as he deals with Bradley Ezekiel, who's worked his way into a good hitter's count. And Rona delivers his first strike. 2 balls and a strike to Ezekiel and a changeup, and it's a big part of his repertoire. Joe, we saw a lot of those against STK fastball. He came in to the game and threw 5 innings in that 7-1 victory when the Express jumped out to a big 6-0 lead in the first.
He's done a great job.
And Ezekiel at first as he's walked for a second straight time. 1 out and another Hill United homer. Second of the game, a 2-run shot off the bat of Shane Boland. Viavazo 1 for 1 in the game. He singled into left field off of the starter Ty Sebastian. And Rona works ahead quickly versus Viavazo with 2 quick strikes. Lenny missed almost 6 weeks with a wrist injury after he jammed his wrist on a slide, and he cranks this ball. He's on his way to try it and will slide in safely with a double. He's 2 for 2 in the title game.
I don't think too much is going to slow down this Hill United team today. Second pitcher of the day so far for the Bear Creek Express.
You never know when a team would be a little anxious. You wait around. They did practice this morning. That's been the routine all week long, but they came to the park
ready.
Lenny Viavazo with his 5th double of the season and his 2nd here in Mankato. And runners at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. And Bruno Matroni, who laid down a well-executed sacrifice bunt that helped Tony Gonzalez to deliver a 3-run blast. And it was a blast. He hit it a mile.
Nice pitch.
That's the quality changeup. And it's a really good one.
No changes at all in his motion. That's the key. And you have to throw it for a strike.
Like Marco Diaz, he's a pretty fluid pitcher.
Then he comes back with a little bit of heat. 76.
The rise ball swung on and missed by Bruno Matroni, who would love to add to the advantage. Bruno is 2 for 12 in Mankato. Drop ball. Catcher Jack Burt looks around to keep Brad Ezekiel close enough to third, so there would be no idea of trying to run home. And an important strikeout after giving up the double to Viavazo. And back to home plate comes Tony Gonzalez.
First strikeout for Rona, second strikeout for Bear Creek Express.
Tony had a wonderful ISC World Tournament for Hill United last year when he batted .455. And he was 2 for 3 in last year's championship final against the then New York Gremlins in a 7-1 Hill United triumph. As his 3rd homer of 2025's event. A monster shot. A 3-run homer. And Rona fooled him with another high-end change of pace.
I would think he might even want to stay with that.
See if he throws it again here. No, he does not. A bouncer off the glove of Barterillo, and that will cash in run number 7. And Tony Gonzalez now with 4 runs batted in the contest. He had a 5 RBI game to start this tournament last Sunday in a game against the Junkyard Dogs.
Good punch by Tony Gonzalez, driving in that 7th run.
Everything going Hill United's way. Runners at the corners, 2 outs for Blake Hunter. Ty Sebastian struck him out before he left the game after giving up the Shane Boland home run. A 2-run shot here in the second. And Hunter fouls the inside pitch well out of play. Blake, one of this team's leading hitters with runners in scoring position. As Pitterona misses up with a changeup that time. Blake's hit .429 this year with runners in scoring position. As a team, though, Joe, Hill United batting .341 on the year. They came in with an overall record of 25-7.
That RISP stat, runners in scoring position, is very important for the complete victories on your team.
I like numbers to begin with in this sport, but that one for me is one that stands out above many. Mm-hmm. What do you do when it matters the most? And Blake Hunter takes strike 3 looking. 3 more Hill United runs. 2 off the bat of Shane Boland, who has not 1, but 2 home runs in this championship final. Tony Gonzalez has a home run and 4 runs batted in. Hill United in front by 7, heading to the 3rd in the championship affair of the 2025 ISC World Tournament here in Mankato, Minnesota.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
It is a large hole for the Bear Creek Express to try to climb out of. They trail, surprisingly, by 7. As we are set to start inning number 3. And Joe, it's been the long ball that has paved the way for the Chiefs. They've hit 3 home runs, 2 of them off the bat of Shane Boland, and Tony Gonzalez with a 3-run homer, and then cashed in another run.
Great production by the Hill United Chiefs tonight. 7 runs on 6 hits.
Callum Bichel walked to open the game. The Express had a chance in the top of the first. They stranded runners at first and third. And that is the inning that they have feasted on prior to tonight on this championship Saturday. They scored 6 in their first game in the first against STK, who are a great story this week, making it in to the Final Four, Doug Allen's crew. And they also scored both their runs against the Northeast Drillers in the first. Hard hit ball Lenny Viavazzo takes care of it at second for the first out of inning number 3. "36-year-old Yusuke Morita, the Japanese national teamer. He struck out versus Marco Diaz in inning number 1. Diaz with 3 strikeouts in the game, and there's the changeup.
Great pitch. Just floated. Just danced in.
And danced a little bit away, too, from the left-handed batting Yusuke Morita, the Express center fielder. And he comes right back with another one, but this one's location.
Just didn't have the proper release point.
Joe, sometimes it can be difficult for a pitcher with a big lead to stay as dialed in.
Yeah, sometimes you lose your focus.
3 changeups in a row. And that was another dynamite one.
Matroni's on the same page as Diaz right now.
Morita sends that foul down the third base side as he slashed it out of play. 6 for 22. He was a member of the San Antonio Glowworm at last year's tournament in Surrey, British Columbia. The rise ball, which is the Marco Diaz pitch that has come the farthest of any, Joe Todd, in the year 2025.
Done a great job. Must have worked hard on that pitch in the offseason.
There was a game earlier this week where he posted 12 strikeouts, and while I wasn't able to completely track it, I believe 8 of them, in terms of strikeout pitches, came on the rise ball. Mm-hmm. Might not have counted 8 the rest of the season on a rise ball for outs. And Rona's going to stay in the game and bat. Wasn't certain that would happen.
No, I thought
we would see Ty Sebastian, who will not have much of a break when this night is over, and many of the players will not. So many will represent their countries again, not in the World Cup, but in the World Games, as men's fast-pitch softball makes its entry into a multi-sport competition in Chengdu, China. Two strikes to Pitterona. Make it strike 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Marco Diaz, who's up to 5 strikeouts in the contest and 61 in the ISC World Tournament here in Mankato.
A metal roof lasts a lifetime. Thousands trust Metal Roof Outlet to install stylish, stone-coated metal roofing that looks just like traditional shingles. Make a smart and worthwhile investment for your home with Metal Roof Outlet. Contact us through metalroofoutlet.com to get a quote for a roof replacement anywhere in Southern Ontario. Because when you trust Metal Roof Outlet with your roof replacement, it may be the last time you ever replace your roof.
Six Hill United Chief hits, 3 of them by way of home run, 2 off the bat of Shane Boland, the other to Tony Gonzalez, who has 4 runs batted in. And it is 7-0 in the championship final of this tournament that began 1 week ago today. 32 teams, Joe, started the quest. for the title here at Caswell Softball Complex, and they've had a lot to deal with here, especially early in the week in terms of some miserable weather, a ton of rain. As Blair has mentioned many times on these broadcasts, the men's game applies a lot of maintenance to fields.
Yes. A lot of, and pitchers have different footing and steps and where the release point is, how long their legs are. But the boys have done a great job.
Alan Pecker grounded out to Cody Panabecker. That's a mouthful. His first time up.
Peter, just a quick look at me analyzing the score sheet. Bear Creek issued 3 walks. All 3 walks scored. Very key mistake. That usually comes back to haunt you.
Allen with a big cut. He's rarely cheated. He generates so much power, Joe, from his lower body, which is really where a lot of it comes from.
Yeah, the torque off his lower body and the strength off his legs.
But Pitterona has his number on this occasion. And for the first time in 3 innings, the leadoff batter fails to reach for Hill United. Edgar Pippola Lopez drew a key walk last night. Their biggest, really, Joe, to this point, when they scored 3 in the 6th in the winner's bracket final to beat the Northeast Drillers 3-1. And his first at-bat tonight, what did he do? He drew a walk.
Yes.
And that would come in to score a couple of batters later when Shane Boland hit his second home run of this game. Tried to stay back on the changeup. Luigi Pinto wins that foot race. And quickly, there are 2 away in the 3rd. "22-year-old Luciano Biondi, he'll be on his way to China to play once again for Argentina's national team in that 8-team competition. I think it starts Wednesday, Joe. I'll have to double-check that before the evening is over. Not the same 8 countries either, by the way, that played in Prince Albert for the World Cup. There's a couple of different countries involved in China. And not every country is sending
the same team.
There's big changes. Australia is one of the teams with massive change to what they sent to Prince Albert. Jack Besgrove will not be on that Australian roster. That's just one example. I think anytime you have a chance to show off your great sport in a multi-sport competition, which in men's fast-pitch softball, Joe, rarely happens.
Rarely happens, yes.
Part of the Pan Am Games over the years. So that's one where that comes into play. What do you think the chances are I leave with my guide tonight?
50-50.
50-50. Well, as long as Todd McCabe has it, I'm okay. Other people, maybe not so much. Biondi goes down swinging. There's an excellent inning from Pitterona. The 1-2-3 go the Chiefs, but they are certainly in command. They lead by 7 in this championship final of the 2025 ISC World Tournament in Mankato, Minnesota.
Peligro Sports provides the essentials needed to give your team an edge on the field. Our brand is rooted in creating a unique experience tailored to the specific needs of your team to ensure your performance is at the best level to execute plays. At Peligro Sports, we rally behind our athletes and understand their fight to take their game to a dangerous level. Visit our store at 2200 Amsterdam Avenue in New York City or see us online at peligrosportsnyc.com. Thanks to Jose and Peligro Sports for their support of the broadcast program.
Luigi Pinto has a base hit in the game off of Marco Diaz. In fact, it's the only base hit he's given up in his first 3 innings of work. He has 5 strikeouts. Had a clean top of the third, a 1-2-3 inning, and deals with a 38-year-old first baseman from Valencia, Venezuela. I told myself today I was going to try it maybe once.
Valencia?
Well, just the Valencia is easy.
Yeah.
Venezuela isn't difficult.
The 2 Vs.
Put them together, Joe. Yeah. I found last year on a couple of occasions in Surrey. This isn't working so well. Things are working pretty well for Hill United. Pinto's had a marvelous tournament here in Mankato. He's up to 11 hits now, Joe. 11 for 25. I would think he would receive some all-world
votes.
Did some catching earlier in the week.
He did, and then gave way to Jack Burt, who is playing defensively but is not batting in the game. Talking about Burt, you'd never take this guy's bat out of the game. Bruno's hot on that one. He didn't like it at all. And at a certain point, well, he gets a tap from Mike Morrissey, who's a terrific umpire. These guys work so hard, Joe, at their craft.
Well, and to be selected to umpire in the championship game, too, is an honor. You've been graded all week, and you were awarded this game.
Pinto. Now he's mad.
It's a never happy position back there.
No. The lean back from Diaz. A chopper, and Blake Hunter has it go foul on him. Pinto rarely in any hurry to get down the line unless he absolutely has to. And on 3 or 4 different occasions, Luigi has carried his bat with him almost all the way to first. When you hit it the way he does, I guess you can do whatever you want. Fails to swing the bat that time as Diaz gets the outside part of the plate to retire. Luigi Pinto with his 3rd consecutive strikeout in the game.
6 on the total game.
David Galino, Joe, in a weird play, but a big play in the first. A pitch that literally knocked him down with runners at the corners in the top of the first, but went off his bat to Blake Hunter to end the inning. And how might the complexion of this game changed had the Bear Creek Express scored a run or two in the top of the first, which is the inning that all day long they've made almost all their hay in.
Yeah, just potentially just would have made a big difference there.
Well, on this championship Saturday, they've recorded 2 wins, 7-1 over STK fastball, then the 2-1 triumph over the Northeast Drillers. Joe, of the 9 runs they've scored, 8 of them came in the first inning today.
Mm-hmm. And scoring that first run in the game, it just changes the whole momentum. Bear Creek had that chance.
2 strikes to Galino. Back at Diaz. Galino is really banged up, especially in the upper part of the right leg that's been wrapped up with a lot of ice on it. And he grounds back to Diaz, who had all kinds of time to go to first for the out. Longtime veteran Tyrone Bartarillo plays first, played the majority of time this week at third, and a Diaz changeup has Bartarillo out in front. High and in to Bartarillo. 4 for 24 now in the tournament after grounding out. Lenny Villavazzo made a really nice play to take a potential hit away from him his first time up. And now Bruno Matroni's come up lame. Craig Lyons, the terrific athletic therapist of the Chiefs, comes racing out of the dugout. Bruno's really uncomfortable, and Luciano Biondi's already on his way from left field into the dugout. We might have a catching change here, Joe Todd.
I would think so.
That's really unfortunate. And another peek at how this occurs. Just turn the knee in and obviously hyperextends it. Well, that is a tough, tough break for the 39-year-old veteran Bruno Matroni, who is the 2021 MVP when Hill United won their 5th of their 6 titles. And we'll have a bit of a break here, and we'll take one. Hill United in front 7-0 with 2 out in the top of the 4th. And Luciano Biondi is going to come in to catch for Bruno Matroni when we return. Best place to watch softball anywhere.
Sometimes people worry about asking for help because there can be a stigma around mental health problems.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
They might believe that asking for help means admitting that something's wrong.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
Some people worry about how others might see them.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
Asking for help means that you want to make changes and take the first steps towards better mental health.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
We should celebrate the courage it takes to speak up and make changes.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
Getting help is part of recovery.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Mental health isn't something you need to keep to yourself. Talk to a friend. Trust your teammates. You're not alone.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
The first steps may be the toughest, but knowing where to look for help is a good start. Community mental health organizations like the Canadian Mental Health Association or Mental Health America offer resources and programs that can help you. Visit cmha.ca or mentalhealthamerica.net to find a branch in your community.
And remember,
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
So things have gone splendidly in this title game for Hill United with one exception, Joe. That's losing their veteran catcher to injury on the last pitch. So Biondi is moved in from left field, and Nick White, who's played a lot of left field, takes his spot. A grounder. Hunter, barehanded, and throws him out. Blake Hunter. Another superb play at the hot corner. It's the only play he has here to barehand the ball and then off balance whips it over.
Good upper body strength to fire that bullet over to first base.
It remains 7-0 Hill United in the championship final in Mankato.
This business was opened in 1965 by my father, Ned Matiosi. Could have walked in here 25, 30 years ago and seen just about the same thing. The process of making this suit takes about 6 weeks.
Well, the star of the show, Joe Todd, of this title game is at home plate. It's leadoff batter and team captain Shane Boland, the 34-year-old from St. John's, Newfoundland, longtime Canadian national team shortstop, played in yet another World Cup recently for his country, and I believe he'll compete at the World Games as well in China. He is 2 for 2 tonight with 2 home runs and 3 runs batted in.
Just a great game put on in the championship game, too. That's what you just seem to peak at the right time.
Well, these are the ones that people remember. You can do a lot of things prior to these one-game winner-take-all showdowns. And, Joe, regardless of the sport, they're not for everyone.
No. Not everyone can handle the pressure.
In a lifetime of sports, you're exactly 100% correct. Sometimes the moment can be too much. Not for Shane Boland. No home run this time. But he finds himself at first base with a leadoff walk. Brad Ezekiel. He's walked twice and scored twice. High and deep,
wow.
And see you later. You thought the Gonzalez blast was big?
That was
How
higher.
about this one?
I might have hit cars in the parking lot.
One of the great Canadian hitters of all time, Bradley Ezekiel, another championship game home run of the ISC World Tournament. And that went a mile. That might be the longest home run I have seen in this sport all year.
It had altitude and longitude.
Talk about never a doubt. And it is 9-0 on the team's 4th home run of the game. Again, special people who deliver year in and year out in key moments. I've always said this too, Joe. It's not an accident. That has a chance. My goodness. This game is over. The Hill United Chiefs go a perfect 6-0 in Mankato. And the team from Six Nations in southwestern Ontario are on top of the ISC World for a 7th time as they've gone back-to-back.
A great display of offense put on by the Hill United Chiefs tonight as they record their 2nd consecutive victory. 10 runs on 8 hits. Very key.
Lenny Villavazzo, the 5th home run of the championship game. And the Hill United Chiefs will be partying into the wee hours. 10 runs on 8 hits, 5 home runs, 2 of them off the bat. Shane Boland, Tony Gonzalez, in many ways, Joe, the key strike that turned 1-0 into 4-0 in the bottom of the 1st.
Just changed the whole momentum.
And congratulations to the completely revamped Bear Creek Express. Outside of David Galino, as Blair Setford pointed out earlier today, it's a whole new construction product.
Done a great job building this team up. Now reaching at 2nd place. Next year they'll try and do a little bit better, and they'll try and reach the top of it. Award ceremony now coming up.
As the teams continue to shake hands. It's a number of teammates internationally. John Stewart with a massive embrace for Ty Sebastian, Canada's longtime national team head coach and a great part of the Hill United coaching staff the last couple of years. We'll take a break. Hill United are the champions again. They've gone back-to-back in Surrey and Mankato. We'll be back with all the award presentations. We'll take you through that as the ISC World Tournament, the 2025 edition. Hail to the Chiefs. Back after this. The Hill United Chiefs defend their ISC title with a 10-0 4-inning victory over the Bear Creek Express in the title game. Congratulations to the Hill family, Pete Hill, Cindy and Tim Toda, also part of the ownership group. Blair Setford down at field level to begin the proceedings. And we'll maybe let him take some of it, and Joe will try to interject.
Sure.
Well, the Bear Creek Express, Joe, went on quite a run. Started well, then they lost a game to JDT, First Energy, and then roared back to get themselves into this title game. They won 2 games earlier in the day, knocking off STK Fastball and the Northeast Drillers in a terrific, if you will, semifinal type game by a count of 2-1.
7 wins, 2 losses is nothing to sneeze at.
As all their players will now receive their second place plaques. It's been a great ISC World Tournament. The job done by all the volunteers, the workers at the park, has been magnificent. This guy was terrific.
Yes, had a great week.
Ty Sebastian.
He's probably not happy with what happened today, but looking back on the big picture, he'll hopefully do well in China next week.
Well, I would bet he'll be at his best there. He was very good for Canada at the World Cup. Tyrone Bartarillo, who continues to show at 41 years of age that he can get the job done at the highest level in the men's club game. Cody Panabecker had a great end of the tournament, offensively and defensively. His home run against the Bear Creek Gremlins really in many ways, Joe, catapulted this Express team to get on a run when they won that game 2-0 yesterday.
Big clutch hit. The right time.
The Hill United Chiefs have captured a 7th ISC world title. And, Joe, the team was really formally introduced as the Hill United Chiefs in the year 2012. That's a lot of wins in 13 years. As they've gone back-to-back, they won it 3 consecutive years in a row in 2013, 2014, and 2015. Again in 2017 and 2021, and now 2024 and 2025. Pitterona.
Pitta and Keith Erkenbrecher, a little bit difference in height there.
Just a tad.
I don't know if they'll get the same picture frame or not.
Well, Pitterona has to go about 6'6". Head coach Paul Sebastian, the father of Ty. Ryan, another one of their coaches. And it takes a village, Joe, for teams at this level to be successful. And it's been quite a grind in many ways the last month for a lot of the world's best players, many of them on display. Certainly, they were all on display by and large throughout the course of the week, but even in this game tonight, so many national team players involved from the different countries.
June and July has been almost squashed together. Very busy for all the major players.
Well, this tournament played well ahead of its regular scheduled time. Next year in Kitchener, we'll be back in that. I haven't looked at the exact dates, but it wouldn't take me very long to figure it out. This tournament always starts normally right around August the 10th. And
It'll be the second Saturday in the month, I believe.
Well, the second Saturday in the month of 2026 is Saturday, August the 8th.
I believe, is that after the Civic holiday must fall early then? Civic must start on the 3rd here.
I would think that would
it'll be the 8th then.
In Canada, by the way.
Yeah.
Because we will have people from other countries.
Mm-hmm.
And there it is. That's what they play for. Shane Boland, Bradley Ezekiel. That beautiful championship trophy remains in the same place with the Hill United Chiefs, who showed the fast-pitch softball world that they were not going to be denied in a second consecutive championship final. 10-0 in 4. They hit 5 home runs on their way to the title. Shane Boland. A night he'll never forget,
yes.
Joe.
Yes.
2 home runs, his first 2 at-bats. He'll never wipe that smile away. Well, not until they play the first game in China. But he'll have it all the way on the plane. And he should. Bradley Ezekiel in the 4th. Has that thing come down yet? It had a different area code on that home run. Well, Bruno Matroni, the only minor setback in the whole evening for Hill United was he was hurt late in the game, had to give way to Luciano Biondi. And Blair, with all the hitting that went on tonight, you're a bit of a historian. You've been around this tournament a long time. Let me ask you this. When was the last time a team won the ISC World Tournament and gave up one single run?
Yes.
One.
I don't think that's in there.
I've got to believe that
probably
would have to be a record of
yes.
some kind.
Yes, it probably is. We have to do a lot of digging to pull that one out.
I don't know if that's in this great book that I'm looking at. Tried to scroll through it earlier today, but they gave up one run in 6 games. Mm-hmm. That's astounding.
Right. Shows you the depth of that program.
Marco Diaz, the only run he gave up came in the 3-1 victory. And this guy's got a chance. He'll be the top pitcher. There's no doubt about that, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
And would be right in the MVP conversation, I'd have to think as well. Justin Schofield, one of the people in this sport I learn the most from in conversations. He loves to break this sport down, particularly pitching, and I can't get enough of it. Martin Gonzalez, in his first year with Hill United. Nick White's just 21 years of age, the pride of Truro, Nova Scotia. Won't turn 22 until December the 4th, and he's got some major events to participate in. He's on his way to China with Team Canada, and he'll play for the U23 Canadian team in the middle of September at the upcoming U23 Pan American Championships. Rowan Sears just added for this tournament. He'll play for the Mastodons at the Canadian Championship. Had a couple of great conversations. He's a AAA hockey coach as well as a ball player back home. Kyle Ezekiel, this guy never met a day he didn't like. You don't win without people like Kyle Ezekiel. Keeps everybody loose. Tough for Quentin not to be involved, and boy, Joe, before he suffered his injury at the World Cup in Canada's third game, which unfortunately was meaningless, against Argentina, rolled over the ankle. He was playing about as well as we've seen him.
He was just hitting up a storm.
Was he ever? No Nick Shales here. He was unavailable. And there's one of the new members of the ISC Hall of Fame. He'll be inducted next year from Prince Edward Island. Head coach Jeff Ellsworth. John Stewart. I want to thank him especially. I know I would not have been involved in Hill United Chiefs broadcast this year without John helping to lead the way. And if you don't like John Hill, you don't like human beings. I love this man. He's been around this game for a lifetime, was a great player, has been a terrific coach, and he's a spectacular individual. There's Brian Porter, who gave such an incredible speech when the Hill family as a whole was inducted into the Hall of Fame here in Mankato. Craig Lyons, he was a good player as well in the sport, athletic therapist, and just a true professional, Joe. You don't need to be around people very long to watch them at their craft and know the difference between true pros and sometimes people who aren't.
Craig and his brother Jeff are two great people.
They really are. Certainly have gotten to know Craig better than Jeff, but
We're now going to turn to individual awards, starting with the ISC All-World Second Team from GGT Energy, Jonathan Lynch.
because this is my first in this chair in a final, I don't know how long you guys generally go through this whole award ceremony, if you take it right to the end.
This will probably go another 10 minutes.
I've got no better place to be.
Sure.
On some shows that I've been involved in, and you know, Joe, I've been involved in a few in my 40-plus year broadcasting career. Sometimes it's showtime over when the championship trophy is awarded, as we're now going through some individual awards.
This is the second team, all-world team.
Callum Bieshel had a superb week. And this was a team outside of David Galino that was completely reconstructed for 2025. They showed the world early in the year, Joe, they'd be a force to reckon with. There's Lenny Viavazo, who ended this title game with, by the way, his third hit. Singled, doubled, and homered to walk it off. It happened so quickly, it almost took me by surprise to get to 10 in the fourth. Lenny missed almost 6 weeks with a wrist injury. The Gremlins' Ladislau Malerzuk, great Argentine national team member.
And from the Northeast Drillers, Blaine Milheim.
Blaine Milheim, I believe, had a hit in every game but one. and might have had a hit in every single game when it was all said and done. The pride of Homer, Michigan, and a member of the United States national team that captured a bronze medal at the recently completed World Cup in Prince Albert. If you love to see great progression, Conrado Zanatini of STK Fastball did not have a hit as a member of the Ostrander Norsemen in 2024, and now he's an all-world player.
The difference in just how much you work at your game in the off season.
And the reps, Joe, and the experience, and the at-bats against the best in the business. Makes a big difference.
Second all-world pitchers. The first one from JDT Energy, Devin McCullough.
Devin McCullough, longtime Canadian national team member of JDT. A lot like Ty Sebastian, he absolutely carried the ball all week for JDT, who was upended by STK in a playoff game yesterday.
Jorge Segura off of STK.
The 38-year-old from Guatemala City.
And from the Bear Creek Gremlins, Jack Bessrow.
I think Jack left about half an hour ago.
Well, Jack, just 21 this year, finds himself on the second team.
From the Northwest Drillers, Tom Inoka.
Interesting that he's an outfielder, Joe, only because I'm not sure he played more than 2 games this week in the outfield, but he had a marvelous week. He was one of the top hitters, period, when it was all said and done, average-wise. I think he ended up in the neighborhood of 8 for 12 or 9 for 13 for the Drillers, formerly of the Bear Creek Express, who he played for last year. And here comes the 34-year-old from Auckland.
From the Hill United Chiefs, Bradley Icicle.
This is the first all-world team.
Bradley Ezekiel, make it 9 times an all-world player, Joe. One of the greats. I say it often. In my lifetime, one of the great Canadian hitters I've ever watched. Aleo Munoz, 5 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Luigi Pinto. Should you still be that good at 38?
Yes.
We guess so.
Yeah, he's done a great job.
Well, Brad Ezekiel's 38 too. Sometimes I almost forget that. Tony Gonzalez, what a championship final. What a year he had. He came up clutch a lot in 2025. 2 times in a row, Joe. Now he's on the all-world team for Tony. Hit a 3-run home run and drove in 4 tonight. Shortstop Cam Schiller. Not his first rodeo either.
No. He's a great shortstop.
He was banged up the last couple of days. The veteran USA national team member, the 35-year-old from Prescott, Arizona. Will always cheer, as you know, for Juan Zera. As a result of something he did last year at the Chiefs Challenge in Simcoe, when Luciano called him out of the crowd to help clean a camera on a drizzly day. The things that stay with you in sport. He's a hell of a player. The 32-year-old from Argentina. He took a bit of a beating this weekend, too, behind home plate.
Mm-hmm. All the catchers should probably go home and have an ice bath.
Yeah, and then you've got to fly halfway across the world. "22-year-old Luciano Biondi. If this young man continues to progress, Joe, he might have a few plaques on the shelf before he's all said and done."
Bruno Matroni's done a great job mentoring him.
Marco Diaz. Perfect 6-0 this week. 4 more innings tonight through 30 in the tournament. Gave up 1 run. Yeah, well deserved.
Yes.
I call him the Brussels Bulldog because that's how he plays. And he's from Brussels, Ontario.
Hey, Momata.
He was sensational. Joe, in so many ways, the turning point for both the Chiefs and the Northeast Drillers came in the 6th inning of that winner's bracket final last night. It was 1-0.
Sportsmanship Award going to Kegel Black Knights. That award is being selected always by the umpires.
And apparently they still have some supporters here. There's Wayne Momata. He retired, I was mentioning before we cut in with the most gentlemanly team, if you will, or sportsmanlike. The fact in last night winner's bracket game, he retired 13 Hill United Chiefs in a row before things unraveled. That's a great word, Joe Todd.
Real good ball player coming up.
Prince Albert, Saskatchewan's own Ryan Bicknell. He'll play for Canada in September at the U23 Pan American Championship.
8 for 12, 6-7, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. Thomas Anoka from the Northeast Drillers.
Those are good numbers. 8 for 12. Tommy's already been out once, so I think he's still here.
Munoz, the RBI leader.
15 of them, Joe. 5 home runs. He led the way in that category as well. The all-time record for runs batted in a single tournament, 17. Wayne Laulu and Donnie Hale most recently. As the man they call Choco waves to the crowd.
Two more awards, folks. The Leroy Zimmerman, most outstanding pitcher. From the Hill United Chiefs, Marco Diaz.
What a tournament. Back-to-back titles. Born in California.
Congratulations to Marco Diaz.
He's 23, Joe.
Great future ahead of him.
Arguably as good an all-round player as there is in the sport today.
just had a very tough game.
You, the fans, the sponsors, and of course our coach committee for making this another successful ISC Men's Basketball World Tournament. We hope to see you next year in Kitchener, Ontario.
The night belonged to Hill United. They are the champions for a 7th time, and in the title game, it was really Joe Todd never in doubt. 10-0, led 4-0 after the bottom of the first. And the stat, though, for me that stands out maybe amongst all of them is in 6 games, they gave up one run.
One run.
One.
Great pitching, great defense.
Joe, can't thank you enough. The work that you and Blair put in is beyond unbelievable. The time, the effort. You give so much to this sport, to the ISC. And as a lover of the game, it's been an absolute pleasure to be beside you guys and play a very, very small role in helping bring this tournament to everybody. Luciano and Carol.
Thank you, Peter, for adding your professionalism to our game.
Thank you, Joe. To Luciano and Carol, I love you both. You are amazing people.
Oh, good. See you in Kitchener.
The Hill United Chiefs are the champs and are on top of the ISC world. Let the champagne flow. For everybody, my name is Peter Loubardius. Hope you enjoyed it half as much as we did. Good night from Mankato.
Called strike 3, the outside corner. They work out of that. High in the air, Viavazo comes to get it, and the Chiefs are back to the top of the mountain. The gloves fly. The celebration is underway.